Hi everyone, I'm Sari Kontra and I'm working in Vantaa, close to Helsinki International Airport here in Finland as a special education teacher. And as we all know, we have the lockdown situation in all over the world, and that has caused many challenges and also new opportunities for us teachers as well. In Finland, once we got the information on 17th of March, was it 17th? Yeah, 17th of March, that all the schools will be closed. We also got information that we won't cancel or we won't quit teaching at the same time. So we have been working remotely. We have worked from homes, no matter if we are teachers or pupils, because that's how it goes. So we have used computers and different kinds of programs to work and study during this very exceptional time. Ulpo, my colleague, she works in different schools. She will tell about this more, because then again, there are people who need to work at the same time, and those people have children as well. And there are also two young children who are not able to be at home at the same time when the parents are working. Or they need school for language reasons, for many other reasons. So they need contact teaching and contact school no matter what goes on in the world. So that's why I have been a contact teacher during this lockdown time here in Finland in our school. I have been working since 19th of March as a classroom teacher with my pupils from the grades 1 to 3. So they are pretty young ones, because normally I work with the 5th to 7th graders. But being a class teacher originally myself, that has been like a leap back to the history, because that has been the thing I have been working with before. And this classroom around me has been the classroom I used to work. I started working here, and this was the classroom for the first, I say, 3 to 4 weeks. And then our city decided that we need to combine schools because of the costs. So that means that we have pupils in different schools, for instance, in this area, and we are nowadays we are studying and going to the same building. So the school is nearby, but I'm still working here because, let's say, in a few minutes I will have one student coming over who also needs teacher to help him with some tasks that should be done during this lockout time. So I will start teaching him, and then I make a few phone calls, and then I tell more about my work here as a contact teacher during this time. Today's work is pretty much done, so I started around 8:30 this morning with my contact pupils. I had 19 of those, and I had 2 co-teachers working with me today. Because there are so many, we are not able to be in the same room because of the limits and limitations of having 10 people in the same place at a time. So that means that we also need to divide those groups into smaller groups that we are able to work safely. So that means my contact teaching day is from 8:30 until 12:30, and then I start working with my older pupils afterwards. So that means in the afternoon I'm working with those pupils who need some support for their homeschooling, and if they have some exams or some assignments that they haven't been able to do, I help them with those. So they come to me either after a message from a parent or one teacher who contacts me and says that, okay, he or she hasn't done this and this. Could you please support him or her, let's say once a week or twice a week? Are you able to meet him or her? And then they come to see me for an hour, like today. We worked a bit more than an hour with this young man who had one English exam to do, and then he had also one project he hadn't finished at home, so I helped him with that. And I fill my calendar with those pupils and with those assignments. When I get information of those, I call with my colleagues and I speak on the phone pretty much, because they know the best what assignments need to be done, and if there's anything I need to know more about. So I don't guess or I don't contact them. I'd say that the way is like vice versa. So they actually do that they contact me if they need some additional help. And of course I'm in very close contact with those pupils I also supported before this corona, this lockdown time, and I used to work with them already, so I know these people who might have had some problems, and that's why I support them already. But if there are any new ones, I get the information from the subject teacher or the homeroom teacher, who follow and see how they are actually doing during this very exceptional time. And so my days are actually in two parts, divided into two parts. That means that with the small ones, we have pretty busy days, busy noons or mornings, and then afternoon time is more like specific work with these older pupils who actually already know what they should do, but they have some challenges at doing them alone. So that's why it's easier that they have an adult to support. And also there might be some, let's say, some pretty also challenging situations. Let's say we have also 9th graders who should finish school in a few weeks, and we know the situation, although we're getting back to work and back to school next week on Thursday. That's something our government already made the decision. They decided that everybody is actually getting back to school and getting back to kindergarten. So therefore we have some time with those pupils before they need to get their school reports and they need to finish the 9th grade. And that's why it's also a pretty good thing that we keep on working with them already now, because otherwise we will have only a few days left. With my other pupils, let's say starting from the 5th grade until the 8th grade, we have a few more days because their school reports are not that up to date, so they are not in a hurry because they are not the finishing ones. They are not those who are actually finishing schooling this spring, although we don't know what the next year will bring. And yeah, my days and my weeks, as they were already as a special education teacher, are also now very different to each other. So well, the springtime, like I said, there are many challenges, and there are still many notes and grades that should be done or achieved. So that's why I'd say that we special education teacher work pretty differently these days, and we also have different kinds of methods to achieve those grades with our pupils. So because we are not able to see each other all the time, we are not able to hold in hand that way that we should be able to do in our normal life and in our normal school day, when we are able to have our pupils around like for 3 to 5 hours per day, if they have some challenging times like during Christmas, that they are able to then just do the stuff that needs to be done. We have been working in many different ways, and that's what I'm going to tell you next. Hi again, Tuesday today, and today my working day didn't continue in the afternoon because, as a surprise, I got the information that one of my students who actually was supposed to come to me had already completed all his assignments, so I didn't need to continue my working day very long today. So I had some time to make phone calls and send a few messages, because you know you need always to do such things as well. During these 2 days, so Monday, so yesterday and today, I had 2 very talented colleagues working with me, co-teachers, and then also school assistants. So we were able to work in blocks. It's rather a common way to work and organize classrooms and groups, that you have many teachers working with the same group or a few groups at the same time, and then you are able to combine different kinds of pupils and divide them in the different groups. So if there are, for instance, different kinds of learners who learn differently or are fluent or not fluent at reading, for instance, or have or don't have that much to do in maths, you're able to combine these kind of learners together. And then once you have them in the same group, it's easier to teach them if they are not like divided in many places. So today we had 19 first, second, and third graders all together, and we made 3 groups where we had students and pupils from each age group, so from each grade. So we didn't have like first graders, second graders, and third graders, but then we had like a bit mixed groups, and it worked pretty well, because then you always need to find those pairs and those small groups that work together, and then you know also those groups that don't work that well. So then you are able to make some slight changes to improve the work and the spirit of the group, and also make your job a bit easier. So today we have 3 groups. My colleagues were working indoors. One of them had music lesson for 25 minutes. The other one had some reading comprehensions, reading tasks. And then I had outdoor maths. So they were measuring different kinds of things, distances, by using their own bodies. So for instance, steps and so on. And the weather was excellent, so that was actually pretty nice. And then I had to teach the same stuff 3 times, so I didn't need to plan like 3 different sessions, but just teach it 3 times and see how they work separately and also together. Then you had a bit more time, because the groups were pretty small. They were just 6 or 7 in one group. So that was actually today, and that's also pretty good thing to do in this time, because you can have big groups in the same place or in the same room. So today it was easy to take one group outdoors and then just share in 2 rooms, because then again all these transitions and so on take pretty long time. But then when you have colleagues and very good colleagues working with you, it's actually pretty easy.